Nobody gives a damn about your passions, bro. Nobody in this world gives a single damn about your passions, man. They don't care about your hobbies. They don't care about your interests. They don't care about the things you want to achieve in life. They don't care about your bucket list. They don't care about the things you want to do before you pass. They don't care about those goals you've had since you were a little kid. They don't care about any of that, man. You know what they care about? They care about you having a job. Get a job, bro. Like, you'll be taking some you'll be like working on getting yourself into the place you want to be, and people will be like, "You got to get a job, bro." Like, you want to take a vacation for a few months, people are going to be like, "What about your job? What about your job? You're going to leave your job? You're going to leave your job behind?" It's like, "Man, you're a slave." Yes, slave. I'm going to leave my job behind, slave. Yes, slave. I'm going to leave it. You know what I'm saying? It's like no one cares about your passions, bro. You could have this childhood dream to traverse across America in a van and take a pit stop at every state, and you'll be doing things to get to it. You'll be working hard. You'll be putting your money aside. You're getting your van ready. You're doing all the things needed to get it done. And then you tell somebody, you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go cross country," and then people are gonna be like, "What about your job? What about your job, man? You're gonna leave your job? What about your job? Are you gonna quit your job? You're just gonna leave your job you're just gonna leave your job like that? What about your job? What about your boss? Did they give you permission? How are you going to leave your job?" It's like, man, you are a slave. You are a slave. You have been brainwashed from birth to believe that you ain't nothing in this world without your job. That's all people care about in this world, man. Your job. Your job. Get a job. What about your job? What about your job? What about your trabajo? What about your employment? What about your boss? What about your 401k? What about. It's like, man, what about your retirement? What about Social Security? It's like, man, you really think any of us are gonna get Social Security, bro? You're looking at how things are today in today's climate. You really think we're gonna get Social Security, bro? You really think they're gonna let you stop working? People don't give a damn about your passions, man. People don't care that you want to draw. People don't care that you want to raise animals. People don't care about any of that, man. People just want you to be at a job. People just want you to be behind a KG for 8+ hours a day, 6 days a week. It's like you're even considered lazy nowadays if you have a full-time job. Like, oh, well, when do you work? Oh, I work from 8 to 4. How many days? 5. Like, oh, that's it. You don't have a second job. You don't have a side hustle. It's like, man, you're a slave, bro. Like, I could totally get where you're like on your grind mode, but if that's all you want to do with your life is just grind, you're a slave, man. If all you want to, and people use words like grind, people use words like the hustle or get money getting. It's like, man, you're just rotting, dude. You're just rotting in your own realm. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't care about any of your passions, dude. People only want you to be at a job. People only want you to be clocking in. People will hate you if you don't have a job. Like if you're on a neat arc or you're enjoying yourself a neat arc, maybe you're getting unemployment, maybe you've set yourself up in a position where you make some money and you're good, you know what I'm saying, and you don't have to hold a full-time job. People are gonna hate you, man. People are gonna start scratching their head. People are gonna think you're a dope dealer. People are gonna think that you're a scammer. People can't wrap their head around that some people want to do other things besides just work all day. You know, like all people care about is your job. All people care about is your label at a position in a job. Even like that's all they care about. People just care about your label at a job. Like, oh, what title do you have? Oh, I'm a production manager. Oh, nice. Where do you work at? Oh, I work at McDonald's. I'm a cashier. Nice. Like that's all they care about. They just care about you having a title, man. You know, they just care about you having a title. They don't care about your passions, man. People don't care about your passions. That's why you shouldn't even open up to people about your passions, bro. You shouldn't even open up to people about the projects that you have in your life because all people care about you is having a job. All your mom cares about is you having a job. All your dad cares about is you having a job. All your parents, all your grandparents care about is you having a job. All society, everybody around you cares about you having a job. They don't care about your passion projects. They don't care about your bucket list. They don't care about those things you wanted to do your whole life. They don't. And if you actually get on doing those things, people are going to hate you even more. Like right now that I'm in Mexico, like I've talked about this before, but like since I've been out here in Mexico, people like get mad at the fact that I'm out here. Like, what about your job? You left your job? What about your boss? Did they give you permission? Do you have extended stay? It's like, man, you're such a slave, dude. Why can't you wrap your head around the fact that there's more jobs? So many of these people have that scarcity mindset, bro. They think they're never going to be able to get another job. They stick at the same job for 40, 50 years. And it's like, I respect that, but at the same time, respect other people's way of life as well. Not everything's just about having a job. Like you're not like that's not the stuff you're gonna remember at the deathbed. Like, oh yeah, that time I did a 100-hour work week. I'm proud of myself. Nah, that's not the stuff you're gonna remember when you're at the freaking deathbed, dude. You're gonna remember all those passion projects. You're gonna remember all those times that you weren't at the job. It's like no one ever really like dreams back to the time they were at the job. People always dream back to the time they were off the job. People always dream back to their vacations, their days off, their holidays. People always look back to the time they were kids when they didn't have a job. And what's wild is all people care about is you having a job. It's a weird it's like a weird cycle. People all they do is complain about their job. Like I don't know if you've noticed that. All people do is complain about their job. All people do is complain about how they wish they could quit their job and do something. And then somebody does that. Somebody quits their job and does something outside the box and they hate. Ah, man, he's lazy. He's undisciplined. He's not coordinated. He's not pragmatic. He's not thinking things clearly. It's like, man, I'm thinking things clear enough. I'm thinking things very clearly. This is something I want to do. I don't want to die behind the cage wage. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hide behind that. I don't want to die for that my entire life. Yeah, I'll wage my fair share, but I also want my fair share of freedom. I also want my fair share of need. I also want my fair share of enjoying things that I already have. And it's like, that's what I'm telling you. No one cares about your projects, bro. Nobody cares about your passions. Nobody cares about people. People don't want to see you training and boxing unless you're holding down a job. Like if you have like some money stashed away, if you have like a couple bands stashed away and you're not working and you dedicate yourself to boxing training, people are gonna think you're a quitter, you're lazy, you're a man child. Like, man, look at this guy boxing. This guy, why is he dedicating himself to boxing? He should have a job. They don't even know that you're good. They don't even know that you got a little money coming in. They don't care. That's what I'm saying. People don't care, bro. They just care about you having a job. They just want you to be at the job. People are miserable if people like if you have neighbors and they're up every morning at 5 a.m. to go to the job, and they never see you getting up that early, they're gonna hate you, man. They're gonna talk to you and like, yeah, so what do you do? Oh, I do this. Oh, why don't you work in the morning? Oh, I'm work second shift. Oh, you could have a morning job. You know that, right? It's like people always want you to be at a job, man. That's pretty much all you get told all the time. Get a job. No one cares about the passions. Nobody cares about your inner spirit, your inner human. They just want you to be a machine, a cog in a machine. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about you. If you're a guy and you want to take some time off, you want to climb the Himalayan mountains, you want to become a monk, you want to learn how to pray, you want to take, you want to become you want to become spiritual, grounded, you know what I'm saying? People don't care about any of that, bro. That's why we shouldn't even go around telling people about our passion projects because no one cares. People just care about you getting a job. People just care about you staying at a job. That's why do you think that's the first question people ask? What do you do for a living? Oh, pretty much that's them asking what's your job. Because that's all people care about. People don't care about your passions. People don't care about the things you want to do. People don't care about you being happy, bro. They don't care about you doing the things that make you happy. If you have a little garden in the backyard and you like spending some hours there, people are wondering why you don't have a side gig. Like, oh man, why you put in 4 hours a day into the garden? Those are 4 hours a day, 5 times 5 days a week. That's 20 hours. If you're making 25 an hour, they start going breaking down into math. They're like, man, shut up. You get a job. Why you got time to talk about me? Get another job. Get a fifth job. Get a 10th job. That's all people care about in this world, man. Is get a job. Get a job. Nobody cares about how's he doing mentally. Is he grounded? Is he happy? Is he fulfilling the things he wants out of his life? They don't care about any of that. They just care about get a job. That's why whenever somebody says like, man, I'm on my neat arc, hey man, I'm chasing my dream, I'm traveling, I'm like, hell yeah, dude. That's what life's about, especially as an excess man. If you're an excess man, you should be doing things you want, bro. Cause you ain't getting no pussy. You ain't gonna be busting no nuts inside no guts. So you might as well get some fun. You might as well do other things.